Hey folks, I'm Mike. Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I like? Patreon.com/inkdependence. It keeps this blog ad-free. Hey folks, and welcome to inkdependence.com. Today I'm recording this on January 1st, 2018, and the start of a new year means that we need to get our planners ready. So I wanted to take a quick look at a couple of planners that I've been using. Actually, one, two, three... I like 4 planners real quick. So this is the planner that I've been using. Excuse me, Mr. Porg. Need more room. This is the Plum Paper planner, and I've used these for a couple of years now. These are actually very nice planners, and they've gone through some changes over the last few years, and so I'm kind of switching away. But these are 7 by 9 inch planners. They're not one of the traditional sizes, and you're not going to probably find a cover that this will fit in easily. So those of you who are big planner cover folks, you're not really going to be wanting this one. However, this does come with great covers of its own, and that's why I've never really felt like I needed one. So to begin with, you have this nice very thick sort of plexi clear cover, and then underneath that, excuse me, Mr. Porg, I need even more room. Underneath that, you have this this inner cover, which is pretty much indestructible all on its own. This is a great cover, and you know, they got the double cover, but you don't really need it. Now, if you want to take a dry erase marker or something and write notes in here, you totally can. It'll be protected and all that sort of jazz. You've got many configurations for this planner, and sort of the baseline 6-month planner is $18 plus shipping and handling. And the shipping is a little bit expensive, so it's probably going to be, I forget what I paid for it, 25 or something. But I actually have some blog pages built in here because I run a blog, obviously, and so I needed some informations there. But you get your monthly spread here at the beginning with all kinds of highlights, birthdays, events, things to remember, all that kind of jazz. I didn't really put anything here in August. These are notes for the month, that kind of thing. And then in between, you have a monthly layout here, which I used for all kinds of things. When my grades are due, where I'm going to be, if there's pin shows, all this kind of stuff. And then during the week, you have all kinds of things. This is a great layout for professors and students. This is actually the student planner. They come with a bunch of them, so go over to plumpaper.com to check these out. Now, the reason I said that I've switched away from it a little bit is you can see here probably a little bit of like ghosting and show through and that kind of thing, and that's not ideal for me because I really like to use new room. Yeah, I needed a new room when I started there. I really like to use fountain pens in here, and so you get some like show through. And this is actually kind of new. I think they might have changed the interior paper just a little bit, and it is a nice paper. It's thick, it's heavy, it's quite smooth, and it's great with everything except for fountain pens. Those tend to bleed through just a little bit. And so I was like, oh, that's a little disappointing. And so I've kind of moved on to other planners, but I may be back to this because this is a great layout. It's a good size. It gives me a column over here for my classes that I'm teaching. It gives me this over here I can use for listing. Usually in here I list what I have to grade, that kind of thing. If I'm making tests or quizzes or whatever, they go down here. Of course, if I'm a student, then I'm putting over here things I have to do and like tests and quizzes I have to take, but it works just as well for professors. And then here's the day, and it corresponds over here. Now, there's no special loadout here for time or whatever, but it does give me plenty of space, and it's pretty sparse here because school is just beginning. I was just kind of getting rolling, but in some of the later pages of this planner, they get pretty full. But that's fine because they're nice big squares, pretty big. Here's a... ink sample for size. So these are pretty big squares, you can see. As you get later on into the book, you find things like the blog pages, and these tell me things like I can write down what posts I'm actually scheduling or which ones I'm putting in, my to-dos, and these kind of get carried over a lot of times. Post ideas for things I want to do, etc., etc. I can put in like followers and pluses and minuses and all this kind of stuff on various platforms. You can put in all kinds of stuff in these blog pages. And then at the end, you have a nice pocket. You have another, like a 2019 calendar, contacts, and holidays. You can see I don't really use these back pages very much, but other people who are more organized than I am probably would. And actually, this is kind of nice. I totally should have used these, but advertising and sponsors, I don't do that because I don't really like ads. Anywho, so this is the Plum Paper Planner, and it is the cheapest of the available options, even after shipping by a little bit. And I really do like it. If you're a person that doesn't necessarily have to use fountain pens in your planner, and I don't have to, and I really didn't for most of this, then this is a good option for you. It's a great size. It does take up a little bit of room in your book bag. It does have a spiral bound, which some people don't like, but this is a tough spiral. This went with me literally every day to class, and That spiral, still true. So no problems there. Oh, and here's the other thing that's cool. Is this little guy right here is just, it comes in and out on the spiral, and so I can move it from page to page. I got this from Etsy. So if you go to Etsy and you're looking for Plum Paper planner stuff, they have a ton of things that are the right size for it. So keep that one in mind when you're looking at planners. But let's look at a couple that I'm going to be using over the next semester or two. These are all year planners, I believe. This one was sent to me by brushdance.com. It is their Karma planner, and I've just barely started using this one. It started in November, and I got so busy that I was like, oh, look, I'm just going to keep using my Plum Paper for there because I've got too much stuff to do to switch over to a new planner. But I did try it out for sure, and I will be using it more. It does have very nice paper, even for fountain pens, and that sort of jazz. So here's November. Few little blog stats I put in there. Their monthly spread is 1 page, and then a lot of to do, or a lot of like checkbox sort of things, as opposed to the Plum Paper planner, which was 1 month on 2 pages, which I really like a lot. It's got all these nice little pages in here. Dwell in possibility, like nice little inspirational quotes and that sort of thing throughout. All of the year, or rather all the month pages are up at the front, which I kind of don't prefer. I wish they had interspersed them, and also I wish there were tags on the edge to show you what month you're in. I really like that about the Plum Paper planner. I think that's pretty awesome. Secret to getting ahead is getting started. And so then it goes from there into a weekly sort of thing. And, you know, this gives you a fair amount of room for each day. For me, this is probably not really enough room, although I do really like the week at a glance. I can move in like things like what I'm doing in each class. I think there's enough room in these. They are twice as big, using this for scale again. They're about twice as big as the little squares that you get from the other planners, so I think it'd be pretty good for that. And I'll be using it throughout the year just to see how it holds up. You do get a little bit of show through. The paper's maybe not quite as good as the Plum Paper planner, but it's a very nice, heavy, thick paper, and it feels good. I just wish that there were tags on the edges to show you when the months start and stop. So this one obviously just kind of goes sort of unceremoniously from the 28th to the 1st, February, March, that's it. But there's nothing on the edge. Now, a lot of people will use different kinds of tags. I have a few kinds of tags up here that I'll be using in my new planners. Reach some more. There's a few more. These are all great tags. I've got some bigger ones. I've got some smaller ones. But these you can move from month to month and that sort of thing. There's plenty of planner materials out there to help you keep organized. At the back of this, you have all kinds of dot grid pages for notes and thoughts and all that kind of jazz. I'm not really sure what these are for, but does this say what it's supposed to be for? No, it doesn't. But, you know, you can put little sayings, or you can put birthdays, or you can draw pictures. I don't know. You be more creative about it than I am. Oh, lined pages as well. So you've got lined and dots. Maybe the dots are meant more for sketching and the lines are meant more for something else, but who knows. Anyway, lots of stuff here at the end. It's like 224 pages of planner. So quite a lot of planner. It's a very nice form factor. This is a B5 size, by the way. And these go for $22.99 is full price. They're on sale right now if you go over to Brush Dance. And tell them I said hi. This is actually it's a very sort of compact planner, I think, for the size. It looks thick, but if you compare it to... Whoa, goodness, I just knocked over my camera stand. If you compare it to the Plum Paper planner, the Plum Paper is nearly as thick. But here's the thing. This is 6 months. And this one goes from November of 2017 all the way to February of 2019. So it's a lot of planner. If you want a planner that's got a lot of overlap for months and this sort of thing, for years even, this is a good thick planner to check out. So go over to brushdance.com and check out this one. All right. Next is one that people will have heard of, and I have 2 of them I want to show right quick. I rearrange. I'm running out of space for planners on my desk, honestly. And it is the Hobo Techo. These go for $48 as configured here with the A5 size. A6 size for these. I have trouble keeping these A's and B sizes all together. And this is the cover that it ships with. I've put a pin in here. Pen not included. This is the beautiful Pelican M600 white transparent. I got this for Audrey for Christmas. And this is actually her planner. I have to give it back to her because it's about to begin. I didn't get one with the cover because I didn't really like the look of this cover online. I think that these pen loops are kind of clumsy and a little bit stiff, but they do hold this M600 with no problem at all. So I probably miscalculated there, and I probably should have gotten the cover, because without the cover, it's 33 bucks. So 33 bucks with no cover, 48 with a cover. So that's not too bad. And it's a 12-month calendar or planner. Inside the cover, you have all kinds of little card slots and such. This has the one that came with it. It fits in this cover, and it comes with these nice little ribbons like this, with these very nice little leatherette ends. I don't think they're real leather. They might be, but I sort of doubt it. And it gives you two of them. So one for the month, because this particular planner has the month on 2 pages, and it does that for each month in sequence. And then you get to days. So when the month begins, you get a big blank page, and then it goes to the first. But, and it's also got these little bars, so if you're flipping through more quickly, this is a step over the brush dance one, which doesn't have anything marked on the edge. But as you go through the days, you can get a whole page per day, which is kind of nice. And I got this thinking this would be pretty good for my work, because I have plenty of room here. It's kind of like marked in half. That's supposed to be noon, so you got your morning stuff and your evening stuff. You got a little thing for meals, has little quotes at the bottom, shows you kind of where you are. Well, shows you exactly where you are. Those 2 days that are shown are right there. But the thing that I really need in my work as a professor is I want a week at a glance, so I can see what the heck is going on this week. And while this will give me plenty of room for each day-to-day thing and lots of detail and notes and all kinds of stuff I can take in here, it's probably not ideal for me, because I really want that week at a glance. Now, a good thing about this particular planner is that it's great for fountain pens. This is Tomoe River paper, which if you're in the planner or the writing community, you know Tomoe River is kind of an amazing paper for fountain pens and all kinds of stuff. It'll take art ink. It'll take all kinds of, hell, I've seen people do watercolor and that sort of thing in Tomoe River, and it comes out fine. Now, you are going to get show through because it's very thin. This is like, super thin. And this is how thick a year of planner is. Now, this does tend to expand as people use it, because the paper gets fatter, it soaks up some ink, and you put things in it. People go wild with the decoration and the preparation of these planners. So this is the cover that it comes in. I really like this lime green cover. I think it's pretty cool. Audrey really wanted the lime green, and so did I, so I let her get it because I'm a nice guy. And I went no cover. In the back, you got things like holidays for different nations and all kinds of stuff. You got some little dot grid pages back here. But the idea is that you use these ribbons to mark the day and the month. And it works out pretty well. Now, the thing about this is that the actual Hobonichi planner doesn't come with any of the ribbons or anything. So when I got it, it was just a little black book. I have since actually won a cover. This is a Nakko seed cover for the A6 planners. It fits all kinds of A6 planners, including the Hobonichi. It is a zippered cover. It's this nice steel gray with a little pocket here, and you open it up, and it's got pen pockets here. I've actually got a flat pen in here, just in case. It's a little ballpoint. Let me take this out of the cover right quick so you can see what the book looks like. This is what the Hobonichi looks like, all raw. So I'll take this out too. Yeah, it's just marking January 1st. This little pencil board guy is separate, but it's just this little black book. It's kind of cute. This is 2018 in the Hobonichi. Let me stick this back in the cover. Well, there's the rest of the cover, I suppose. And this is actually the card from where I won this. I won this from Well Appointed Desk from Anna Reiner. I was pretty psyched about that. I don't usually enter giveaways, but this one I was like, oh man, I want to get a seed. It'll fit my Hobonichi really well. Get in there. Okay, there we go. All right. So as I was saying at the beginning, it starts out with monthly stuff, and I started putting some stuff in here. So when my classes start and end, winter begins here. I put a little Dalek sticker. This is when the new Star Wars movie came out. When I'm traveling, Christmas, etc. I've got these little copper book darts. And actually, this needs to move to the next month, so let's go ahead and do that. And I don't really have anything in this one because I haven't had time to decorate or get it started. Or a book dart. This is harder to do at arm's length than you might think. There. Okay. So this is January. I don't really have anything in there. And as you can see, I haven't done much to prepare this planner, but I figure I'll do it as I go. I have, however, taken the time to go through and use a little piece of washi tape to mark the beginning of each month. So this will help me, flip through even more efficiently, I think. So this is the beginning of January. I got this little, this is a like a pencil board. I got it in there. It says today. So I've got it in there just to mark the day. I may actually put this under there when I'm writing just to give it a little bit more cushion without denting the other pages, because as I said, this is very thin paper. And then in the back of the Hobonichi packaging, it gives you this guy, which is, I have no idea what it says. Well, I guess it probably says the same thing on both sides, honestly. I never really thought about that. But it's also pretty nice, as you can see here, as a blotter page. And since Hobonichi paper doesn't dry particularly quickly with fountain pens or really anything else, you know, that's gonna come in handy. So anyway, I'm pretty psyched to use this. I'm probably not gonna use it for work stuff. It's gonna be used more as like a personal, like day-to-day journal. I'm tracking, I don't know, other stuff I do during the year. And then this is what I'm thinking I'll probably use more this year. And this is the Kokyo Jibun Techo. And this is a pretty cool planner. I didn't unfortunately find this until after I had gotten the Hobonichi, because as soon as I unwrapped that Hobonichi, I'm like, oh man, it's so small. Like, I tend to write pretty large. I don't have that many fine point pens. I've gotten some that I've decided I'm going to pair with that, but looking at it immediately, I was like, oh man, I'm kind of disappointed in my choice. This one, however, is going to be, I think, what I need to do. So Audrey found this for me. It comes with there's a pencil board here with an elastic. I keep it in the back and wrap the elastic around the book to keep it closed. I am the Whale King from Philosophy Club. That was the thing we got to talking about. So this has 3 separate books in it, which is kind of interesting. You have the life book, and all of these are in one cover, right? So in the middle, you've got the diary one. In the back, you've got an ideas one. And they all fit in the same cover, kind of like you would with a Midori Traveler or something like that. And the life book is one that I'm probably going to take out of here, because I don't think I need to carry it around all the time. It's got some pages for all kinds of interesting stuff here. So like 100 wishes and personal mottos and life plans and all kinds of things here. These pages I think are really interesting, and you're meant to keep this book as you go. Like, it's supposed to last for a long time. So in here you can put all your birthdays and holidays and anniversaries and all that kind of stuff for each month, and then carry that through each year, because those aren't really going to change. So like here I've got my birthday, and I've got my mom's birthday, and I've got, you know, some other stuff. It's got a world travel map. It's got news from each age of your life, which is kind of interesting. I mean, there's no way I'm going to go back to like 16. I don't remember what the heck's happened when I was 16. I'm 30, late 30 something right now. And so a lot of this is actually devoted to your news from those years. And it goes up to, where does it stop? When do I not get to have years anymore? Yeah, it goes up to 99 years old, which is pretty optimistic, but you never know. It has a space for your family tree, which is kind of interesting. I guess another one for family tree stuff, I guess. You've got emergency contact lists and password hint lists, which seems like a bad idea, but whatever. You got all kinds of stuff here. Financial management, like I can't, a lot of this is in Japanese, unfortunately, so I have no idea what it says. I have to use a Google Translate thing on my phone. Medical records. So anyway, this is like supposed to be your kind of your life in one little book. And I said, I'm going to take this out. So I'm just going to go ahead and take it out now. And that'll thin this down a little bit, because it is a little bit thick. Next in here, you have the diary section. And this is the traditional planner sort of bit here. Now this has got all kinds of stuff in Japanese and how to use it. Here is an example. Now if you go to JetPens, where I picked this up, and incidentally that's where I got the 2 Hobonichis as well, was JetPens. They have this set out, and they have a whole translation of all these bits and pieces, which is pretty cool. And it shows you kind of how to use it, and like block out times and all that kind of thing. And I started doing that a little bit. Let's see, this is the year, some more dreams and money plans, etc. Here's the month. So this one starts in January. Oh, I guess it did start in December. Good, I've used this a little bit. And I've translated over some of the stuff from the other planner into this one when I got it. And you can see that this one takes fountain pen ink very well. There's no bleed through or anything. The closest I get for bleed through is, oddly enough, gel pens. It doesn't seem to, or no, rollerball. It doesn't seem to like this rollerball I've been using, but you know, what are you going to do? I guess no paper is absolutely perfect. And this has the Tomoe River paper as well. So you have your months all up the front, as these Japanese planners tend to, and I've taken a little more time to fill things out in this one. I've got pen shows. This, you can see, that was that rollerball again, which is weird because fountain pen doesn't bleed through, but this rollerball does. Weird. And then later on, you end up having this stuff. So this is the week at a glance, and it goes in sort of the same way as my Plum Paper planner did, where you have the days of the month, the days of that week anyway, sort of at the top, columns going down, and then these are blocked out by time and not by subject, but I think I'll be able to get through. I don't have any classes in here because I haven't been teaching classes, obviously. It's been winter break. That's about to end, unfortunately, but that's how it goes. And so I've got stuff in here like, gotta send the packages. I sent the box early, and yet it never arrived. Well, it did arrive, just not until like 2 days ago. Thanks, USPS. And it was also crushed, so that's cool. I'm not sure what these say in Japanese, but I think it's probably fine. And you'll notice that it starts on Monday and ends on Sunday. I have had a little bit of trouble with that because I expect it to start on Sunday and end on Saturday, but it's kind of nice because it puts your whole week up at front, and then these are like a subtle, you can probably see the subtle color difference. They're a little bit apricot or something here at the end. And it just sort of goes through like that. Actually, it changes to blue. That's fun. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm really thinking this planner is going to work out well for me. And then the last page here in this this sort of triumvirate of books is the idea book, and this is just this is a Kokyo paper, and I forget what it's called. It's a different. Do I have it written down here? I don't. It's a different paper that Kokyo uses. It's slightly thicker. It's got a little bit more tooth to it than the Hope or the Tomoe River does. But it feels really nice. It works obviously very well with fountain pens. You can barely see any show through even because it's a little bit thicker. It's sort of a nice graph paper, and that's this whole booklet. It's all just a bunch of graph. And this is also meant to carry over this idea book. So these are inks to try out. I really want to try out some Colorverse inks, so I just heard about those. I've got the new Sailor Shikiori inks. There are 4 new Sailor inks to try out. I got to talk to some people about getting some of those. So, you know, there you go. And this is actually a piece of blotting paper that I've been using for a long time. You can see all kinds of blots. This is a vintage one. Ketchum Gramp. It's kind of fun. It's a little bit too big for this book. I don't want to cut it down because it's kind of vintagey, but I might want to try to find a new piece of blotting paper. But use that in there also as a bookmark. So then just boom, and away you go. This has also pockets on the front and the back, a big vertical pocket here and a horizontal pocket here. And I do keep some papers in there, stuff that I'm going for quickly. I also keep let's see, I had more there. I have more in the back, right? Yeah, I have like note cards. These are actually life note cards that I've got in the back. Those are just for writing notes, or if I need to write something down and give it to somebody, I want to have something here so I can. And this is a very nice, sort of simplistic, but a nice plasticky cover. I'm sure they make different ones, and this is a B5 Slim, or sorry, A5 Slim, so it should be easy enough to find covers for it if I need to. But so far I like this one just fine. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, so those are the planners that I'm trying to use this semester, this year. So there we go. We've taken a look at a lot of things, and I think this one's the one I'm going to use the most, and this one kind of more personal stuff, or maybe I don't know, maybe I'll take up sketching. I don't know. The possibilities are almost endless with this guy because it's got so much room in the Hobonichi. So here's some stuff that might help you find the next planner for you. Do check these out in your local stores. The Japanese ones I got at jetpens.com. The cover, of course, is from Nakco, Mr. Brad Dowdy's cool company. This is from Brush Dance, the Karma planner, and then this one is from Plum Paper. And they make a zillion different designs. Definitely check out Plum Paper too. Even though I've said it's not exactly fountain pen friendly, not everybody uses fountain pens all the time. That's just my quirk. All right, so that's it. Thank you very much for watching. And oh, I should have said this Kokyo Jibun Techo is the first kit, is what they call it. And I think they call it that because it's got all the parts and it doesn't just have the diary bit. You could just get that diary bit and I think be just fine with this. But the whole set is $48 at JetPens, which is pretty good for 3 notebooks and a cover and nice paper, and it comes with this pencil board and all this stuff. So I think it's worth checking out. It's a little bit more expensive, and it's a little bit bigger. And I think the layout's going to be great. So there you go. All right. I'll see y'all later. Happy New Year, and peace out. The new Sailor Shikiori.